This weekend, the Radical Challenge Championship moves to Silverstone, the full Grand Prix circuit in use. 3 races, 2 endurance and 1 sprint, and a very big grid indeed, including some new names, some from the Middle East series.
So I'm normally racing out in Dubai in the Gulf Middle East Championship, and I'm here at Silverstone as part of the prize that I won off the back of the last season. It's very competitive out there. A lot of people come out in the European off-season, and a number of other Asian Cup series come out and compete with us.
With the Radical Championship, what is great is that it's sort of a worldwide series that run the same rule book. So you can come to Dubai in the winter and do a winter series and be fresh to come. Amir's here now doing the summer series in Europe, and he'll then be fresh off the boat, if you like, when he comes back to Dubai, all ready to go, because he's got the same rules, he's got the same car, and he just ships his car around with him.
Last few years I raced radicals mostly in Dubai and few races in Russia. 2 cars are in Dubai, 1 car went to Russia for training and learning purposes, and then it returned to Dubai, and all 3 cars raced in Gulf Radical Challenge, and now 1 car traveled back here to take part here in the challenge. This meeting is, I think this is the best racing meeting with Radical. A lot of tracks, a lot of very, very good tracks, and a lot of very fast drivers.
We've just finished qualifying in the damp on slicks, so it's been incredibly exciting, completely new everything for me. So it should be a dry race, and I'm hoping to be able to get into it very quickly without much practice on the dry here in Silverstone.
The first of the 3 races then set to get underway, with Jerome de Saint-Hilaire on pole position, Mark Richards with him at the front of the grid. Dominic Jackson shares row 2 with Jack Constable. Chris Preen, newcomer, alongside John McLeod on the 3rd row, ahead of Joe Stables and Elliot Goodman, with the top 10 rounded out by Martin Verity and Brian Caldwell. You'll see that different drivers have different levels of success seconds in their mandatory pit stops based on earlier successes or otherwise, and that is going to make it a very interesting race to see whether or not those that are quick early on can overcome that success second deficit on the pit stops. For example, Dominic Jackson with 15, Jack Constable with 20, having won last time out at Alton Park, and bringing himself back into the mix as far as the championship is concerned. So race 1 about to get underway here at Silverstone. Jerome de Saint-Hilaire then, who's taken 3 on the road wins, plus another maximum points score, with Marcus Clutton, double Snetterton winner not eligible for points. Jerome de Saint-Hilaire is on pole position. The lights go, out we go racing, and everybody blasts away down towards Copse Corner. Dominic Jackson in the black car tries to squeeze up the inside line, but can't quite find a way through. De Saint-Hilaire it is then who leads the pack up towards the Beckett's S's for the first time. Now, can he hang on to the advantage? Yes, he can. Jackson is second. Jack Constable runs 3rd then as they wriggle their way up towards Chapel Curve for the first time. And Jerome de Saint-Hilaire trying to get away. Now, remember that he's got a 5-second extra time in the pits against the 15 of Dominic Jackson. So the fact that he's ahead already and he's going to gain 10 seconds on the pit stops, very significant. The pressure is on Jackson now to try to get ahead of him. 3rd is Jack Constable as the cars head down towards Stowe Corner for the first time. Great battles rage on lower down the order as there they turn through Stowe. 69, Marcus Clutton. He took 2 wins at Snetterton. He's back in the championship, and he needs to make some progress. Only 17th in that damn greasy qualifying, but Clutton's a quick driver, so he should be stepping up the order now. Out of Club Corner for the first time, you can see 1 or 2 damp patches just to the side of the road. Speed building now as they fire out of Club, past the wing, up towards Abbey, then Farm, and now towards Village, with the race leader, Jerome de Saint-Hilaire, easily getting away. Dominic Jackson hanging on to 2nd place. There's a change lower down there as Joe Stables gets up on the inside line. Joe Stables, another of the newcomers to the series, and going nicely. The student pressing on. One of many that's come out of the 750 Motor Club's Bike Sports Championship. He's also done a little bit of the MSV Formula 4 series in years past as well. So, down Wellington Straight they head. And up front, looking strong, is Jerome de Saint-Hilaire. Battle on here, look lower down the order. Having to go defensive there as they break and turn their way into the left of Brooklands. Now up towards the right of Luffield. Chris Preen hangs onto his place. And another challenge is made up towards the end of the lap. Brian Caldwell on the inside line there, tries to wriggle away by. Is he going to be able to do it on the inside line of the white car? Let's see, they break, they turn into Copse, and Elliot Goodman on the outside line loses out, and he might lose another place because Marcus Clatton is right there behind him as well. More and more of them running wide, coming out of Copse corner, pressing on, using all of the available width of the road as the field accelerates towards Hanger Straight once more. 14 is John McLeod there in the blue and white car going through, running pretty well at the moment. And Rod Goodman lower down the pack, heads onto Hanger Straight now. But they're the race leader, Jerome de Saint-Hilaire, extending this advantage all the time now. Now what can de Saint-Hilaire do to build up an even bigger gap, ready to preserve that when that pit window opens? It's between 20 and 30 minutes of the 50 minutes of the race. And as the battles rage on behind, that's serving, of course, to delay everybody involved. 888 goes through, the car of Jeff Curtis and former bike racer James Edmeades, new to the UK series, having raced in the Gulf Championship. More battles on down as they come into Village, and the one that loses out badly there is Chris Preen, number 2, forced to the outside line. He may have a problem, in fairness, because he's lost half a dozen places. The car offline, doesn't pick up pace either coming out of the corner through Aintree now, and it looks as though Preen, who in his debut was 5th on the grid, has got a problem. Down they come into Brooklands. The leaders go through. Jerome de Saint-Hilaire it is then, the man from Gstaad, the entrepreneur leading the way. Great fan of Radicals as a car, as a concept, as a championship, and he's doing his best now to get away from Dominic Jackson. Jackson is the championship leader, Jerome de Saint-Hilaire 2nd in the title race, Jack Constable 3rd, coming into this Silverstone triple header weekend. 23 goes through, Jason Rishover 12 on the grid and looking to make progress here. Leaders wriggle their way up towards the Beckett's S's once more, and one car parked by the side of the road looks like it could be that of Joe Stables with a problem. Jason Rishover hunting down the opposition, trying to make progress here. The rest of the pack out of Copse up towards the Beckett's S's once again. Peter Brooks in the white car, number 24, goes through, trying to attack, trying to fend off the opposition behind as well. Now he's got himself up onto the tail of number 33, started by Anton Zakharov, the Radical Works team entry. Zakharov, another of these newcomers to the UK scene, but successful in the Gulf Series, the Middle East Championship. He's got Ori Goodmanson behind him as well, as there goes Jason Rishover, coming out of club, past the wing on the right-hand side, speed building now, up towards that right flick, going into Abbey. 14 is John McLeod, and he has got Marcus Clatton hunting him down. Clatton making great progress up from 17th on the grid. Marcus Clatton quick in GT4 cars, in sports cars generally. Never, sadly, has a big enough budget to really go racing, but when he does go racing, always underlines just how quick he is. Now they're going through Copse, number 5 is Jerome de Saint-Hilaire, and he is storming away from Dominic Jackson. Jack Constable rounds 3rd. What about this battle between John McLeod and Marcus Clatton as they come out of Woodcote? Clatton focusing now on McLeod. The gap coming down and down and down. More time found on that lap by Marcus Clatton there. Look as he flicks the car through the right of Copse corner. Up towards the Beckett's S's this time around. Now, is that going to give him an opportunity to have a go? Let's see. Inching up onto the tail there. Right, left, right again, through Beckett's. And it could be now that Clatton has positioned the car just perfectly to have a go at the end of Hanger Straight, diving into Stowe and then to Vale. The pit window is now open. So you've got Hector Hurst giving way to Father Andrew. 23, soloist Jason Rishover rejoins the race. 888 is in for Jeff Curtis to give way to ex-biker James Edmeades, former competitor in the TT amongst other things, now having a rather safer time with 4 wheels. Another driver change as Anton Zakharov gets out, and the Russian entry will rejoin the race in a moment. That car now being taken over by Emir Kozulin. Away now also goes number 5, so Jerome de Saint-Hilaire with his shorter pit stop back into the race against Dominic Jackson and against the others, as there you can also see sitting in the pit lane Martin Verity, number 20 in Mark Craner. The other teams looking at not only the lap timing but also timing the pit stops to make sure the cars don't leave too soon. So 69, Marcus Clatton still urging his way up the order. There is 888, James Edmeades back on track, that car. Ed Meads now playing himself in, finding out what the car feels like after the first stint in the hands of his co-driver Jeff Curtis, and indeed what the track is now like. That's the race leader, Jerome de Saint-Denis, looking strong, and he's gained even more time over the rest in the pit stops. He makes the run now towards the Beckett's S's once again, and it looks as though Jerome de Saint-Denis could be on for another victory here. 3 he has taken on the road, plus that maximum point score at Snetterton. They're going through is number 4, Dominic Jackson. Now, can he catch? Unlikely. You can see what the gap is. Is he going to be caught by the pack behind? Well, they're not that far adrift. The gap is not exactly a huge one, but he's preserving second place for the moment. More drama diving down there, look towards Village. That was Mark Crader losing out, as charging up on the inside John Harrison in 88. And have a look in the background, there's 52, Mark Richards. Now, he was on the outside of the front row, had a really quiet opening stint, but Richards is coming back at the opposition now as they head down Wellington Straight once more. The 3 black cars running together, and is this going to be an opportunity for Richards to have a go and try and wriggle his way through? Let's see. Tries to go around the outside of Crader there as they come into Brooklands. That'll give him the inside line for Luffield. No, it won't. He's too far back, but he takes the back, and around goes Crader, who in turn hits Richards, and both of them off the road at Luffield. One in the gravel, both in the gravel indeed, and the red flag is shown. The race is stopped early, and that means it will go to a countback, but it will still give Jerome de Saint-Denis a race win. Dominic Jackson second, and Jack Constable for third place. Confirmation of the result, Jerome de Saint-Denis takes race 1 honours at Silverstone from Dominic Jackson and Jack Constable. Marcus Clutton up to 4th ahead of John McLeod. Elliot Goodman 6th from John McRae, John Cordwell, Spencer Bourne and John Harrison. Rod Goodman 11th from Martin Verity. Mark Crader and, of course, Mark Richards not in the results because they were not running at the time of the red flag. And also Mark Richards excluded for driving standards for his part in that collision. So the 360 Racing driver excluded from race 1. It's a delighted Jerome de Saint-Denis, however, who heads for the top step of the podium. A very happy Jerome de Saint-Denis. Now, what can he do in races 2 and 3 this weekend? We'll find out after the break.